Hey, this is Mike Beverly with from guitar2music.com. I offer webcam lessons and I offer in-person lessons here in Chandler, Arizona. Hey, the second video I did for the I'm Yours, if the videos are too long, YouTube will screw up the sound and the sound gets off from the video. So I'm redoing another video. Plus, I kind of wanted to go through the 4 basic chords in I'm Yours. Jason Mraz's I'm Yours, and show you basically what he's doing. If you look around the internet, you'll find him playing it in the key of A, and then you'll be finding him playing it in the key of B. The recording that he released is in B, but a lot of times when he's playing live, he'll do A. And then he changes it up too. Like, he doesn't play it the same way every time, and there's like an acoustic version that's out there where he's using a capo. So I'm going to kind of try to show you how it all works, and so you can kind of play it your own way. But basically the basic 4 chords in the recording are B. Alright, so you got to use a bar chord up here. Alright, so it's basically, you take your E shape, right, and you're going to move that all the way up to where your first finger is on a B note, right here on the 6th string. Alright, so you got a B, then the second chord is F sharp. Right, same shape. And then the third chord is G sharp minor. And then the fourth chord is E. Alright, so those are the basic 4 chords that happen throughout the whole song. There's the scatting part where he adds a couple new chords, and then there's one little extra chord where he plays when he's repeating love, 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 loved, right? And that's kind of been throwing a lot of people off, I can see on YouTube here. But anyway, let's start here with let's start with the basics real quick. Your basic shapes are C, A, G, E, and D. All right. When I say shapes, that means we can take those chords that you make down here, and we can move them up to make all the other chords. So you actually have 5 ways to play any major chord. Meaning I could play a C chord using the C shape. Alright, but then I could play a C chord using the A shape. Then I could play a C chord using the G shape. This one's going to be really difficult, a lot of people don't use it. But then I could play a C chord using the E shape, and then a C chord using the D shape. And that's what's referred to as the caged method. It's not really a method, it's really the way that the guitar was designed and laid out to be played. Since we only have 4 fingers in the front, those are the shapes that we end up using. Alright, so what we're going to do, and then the 3 minor shapes that get used all the time that we move up are E minor, A minor, and D minor. Alright, all you have to do is pay attention to where the root is in each of those shapes. So in the C shape, the root is on the 5th string. On the A shape, the root is on the 5th string, the open string right here. The G, the root is on the 6th string. The E, the root is on the 6th string. And then the D, the root is on the 4th string right here. Okay? So if you were to make all those shapes without using your first finger, make like a C, and then you lay your first finger down right here. I always tell my students to imagine as though you have this magic 6th finger just kind of hanging out, holding all the strings down right here behind the nut. So when you're making these shapes, it's like there's a finger holding down right here. Okay? So go and make your C shape and put your finger right there. That's going to kind of kill you at first, right? But we got C, and then we have A, then we have G, then we have E, and then D. Alright? And then now you're in the position to take those. If you're making these chords without using your first finger on them, you're using it to lay down on the nut here. You're in the position now to be able to move those up. Alright, so, and this is imperative in order to get out of first position here, to be able to play all these other chords up here. Maybe you already play bar chords, and inadvertently you've already been using the E shape, or maybe the A shape. Or maybe you've been using the E minor shape, or the A minor shape. Okay? So the first chord, if we're going to do it in the key of B, let's say, a lot of times he does it right here. So we're going to do a B chord with the E shape right here. Pay attention to the root is right there. And then we've got to make an F sharp chord. So I've seen a lot of times that he'll go to this shape right here for this. And then the next chord we have to play is G sharp minor. Right? And then an E right there. And that's just the, I'm using the E shape to play an E, but I'm all the way up here at the 12th fret. So that's just the A minor shape right there. And then the E shape all the way up to the E. It gets a little cumbersome. So there's another way to play it, and this is where this might be a little bit of a brain stretch for you, but we've got B right here. And then to play an E, I'm going to use the C shape. And then to play the G sharp minor, I'm going to use the D minor shape, slid all the way up to where my first finger is on a G sharp note. So you just make the rest of the chord. And then the last but not least is the E, and we'll just use the A shape. So if you notice, I've stayed like all in the same spot right here. Okay, so that's one possibility, is playing it like this.